All right. I have tried twice now to make this video. The first time I just rambled on and really didn't say anything of significance for 15 minutes. The second time I recorded for nearly 20 minutes and then my iPhone crashed and I lost the recording. So here we are. We're going to talk about the Donfronshow mentorship group, talking about my experience in it now that I've been in it for a longer period of time than I was when I did my first review. All right, I should be good now. If you go to my YouTube channel thing, I forget how YouTube works, and you look back, I did a review over a year ago now talking about my experience with Don's mentorship group. And so I wanted to do something of an update on that, right? I was in it for 3 months at that time, and you're still in like that honeymoon period, like, yeah, this thing's great. It's gonna make me rich, right? And I wanted to talk about where I am now in my trading career and where I am with Don's mentorship group. Do I still feel like it makes sense to give some stranger on the internet your hard-earned money to supposedly teach you how to trade? And the bottom line is, yes, I do. I am a huge proponent of getting good education if you're trying to learn to do something. And I think that Don provides a good education in learning to trade. So I'm still a part of the group. I've been a part of it this entire time. I'm not even considering leaving. I really enjoy the mentorship group and I enjoy Don's instruction. And there are a couple of things that have really started coming together for me this year that have taken me from where I was a year ago to where I am now in my trading career. So I think the biggest thing that I've realized is beneficial to Don's style of trading, to the way that he teaches and how you can apply that for yourself, is that he is teaching price action. There is no secret indicator that he's using. There's like, you'll see there's especially Forex guys for some reason on YouTube are like, oh, just pay me $30 for this indicator and you'll make your money back by trading when it tells you to do this, this, and this, right? Or, hey, use these 3 indicators and when all these things line up perfectly, that's when it's a buy signal, right? Don doesn't do that. He's never once tried to sell us an indicator. I would immediately leave the group if he tried to sell us an indicator. That is a bunch of nonsense. Don teaches price action. In other words, you watch what the candlesticks are doing, you get to understand their movement, you draw out those zones that he uses to trade, and you take trades based upon those zones. I don't use any indicators. I might have played around with EMA lines and things like that when I was first learning from Don. At this point, they just mess with me. I don't need them on there. And it's hilarious when you see like trading platforms like, we offer over 30 different indicators, and I'm like, I don't care. Just let me draw rectangles, right? That's all I need in this is zones. I need price action. I need supply and demand. But the really cool thing about following Don's mentorship is it gives you the ability to actually learn how to chart these things out yourself. Now, I should say one of the newer developments in the group, and it's probably been around for 6 months now, but one of the newer things that Don learned to do and started implementing it is he can actually save all of his charts as like a layout in TradingView.com. And then if you're on TradingView.com, you can save his layout, sort of copy and paste it into your, sorry about that, my dog's here. You can copy and paste it into your own TradingView account and load up his charts. So you can actually, and we've had people do this, you can join Don's group. You can just copy his zones, right? He breaks down tickers for us every single evening. So if you want him to chart out a ticker for you, just call it out when he's doing the nightly breakdown. And he'll chart it out, and then the next week rolls around, he hits save, now you have those zones. You could actually just copy Don's zones, learn how he trades price action, and be making money on that. Like I said, we've had people do it. They come into the group, they don't even make their own zones, they just copy his zones. They understand price action, they understand where he would put his stop, and they take trades based on that and are making money. I'm stubborn. I actually, I don't believe in copying generally. Like, I just don't like it. I would rather learn how to do this for myself. So that, one day if I woke up and Dom was just like, nah, you know what? I think I'm done teaching people how to trade. And he just shuts down the whole group. I'm still going to be able to make money out of this, right? I don't need his zones. But the amazing thing about that is after watching this guy on the internet break down charts, coming up on a year and a half, 2 years now, and just about every single night. I can't be in the chat every single night, but I've spent hours of my life watching Don break down charts. And it's the craziest thing now where I'll draw out my zones and then I'll look at his zones and be like, oh, all right, I see there's some slight differences here or there, but I'm like, oh, wow, that zone lined up really well with that one. And that zone over there lined up really well with that one. No wonder I'm actually starting to make money on this now, right? It's just awesome. So you really get to understand how Don breaks this down, and just through that sheer repetition, you can make it into something of your own. And that's, I think, what is most exciting about learning price action and learning to trade from Don. If you like watching the hourly charts, if you're one of those crazy people out there trading naked options and you're just like, load up on 10 contracts of Tesla based upon an hourly trend, I don't have the emotional capacity to handle trading like that. All right. So good for you. I'm glad you can do something like that. If you really like the hourly charts, you can draw out zones and everything based upon that. If you're like me, I work outside sales. I do not have time during the day to be looking at my phone constantly. I actually do worse if I have charts up in front of me and watch the candles move around. Like, it messes with me emotionally. So I sit down at about 5:30 or 6 o'clock in the morning. I chart stuff out, I set my alerts, and then I ignore it until an alert goes off, and that's when I take a trade. That's how I trade. I spend so little time actually looking at the charts, and because of me not being able to be on my phone all the time, I'm typically charting stuff out now on like the 4-hour and the daily charts. So I'm looking actually for swings that are going to take several days to go where I want them to go and to make me that profit. And that style of trading, it's different than Don's, because Don is usually in and out like overnight. That's a little bit too stressful for me. Now, Don's going to make way more money doing that, right? No doubt about it. But if I can look at a chart and be like, all right, I think we're heading up here over the course of the next week or two, and play based upon that and make money, like, I'm looking for monthly income here, right? That's awesome. That's my long-term goal is, I'm not looking to get rich quick. This is supposed to be sustainable growth. And because of him teaching price action, there are trades that I've taken based upon like weekly candlesticks, weekly zones, and sort of narrowed down on the daily and the 4-hour, and then traded based on that and been like, all right, I really think we're going to bounce here. I'm going a little bit heavier here, and I'm making money doing that kind of thing. So it's super cool seeing this style of trading and understanding how it applies to those different time frames. And I really like being able to take it and turn it into something of my own. I'm turning it into a system that makes sense in my brain, right? That the zones that I draw, sometimes they don't match Don's exactly, but I know what they represent. I know why I put that zone there. And so I'm still taking trades based upon them, and it ends up working out. There's something really satisfying about being able to do that and just understanding this for myself. And obviously it requires a good teacher to do that. So I recommend, if you're looking for somebody to teach you how to trade stocks, you need to check out Don. The next question could be, well, is it worth the price? Are you actually making enough out of this to cover however many hundreds of dollars a year it is to learn to trade from him? Now, I do want to caveat this by saying that comes down largely to your risk tolerance, how big your account is, and how long you're willing to learn this. My first year of trading, so from January 2019 to January 2020, I lost a few $100s. From January of 2020 to now, I am up, I think somewhere between $5,000 and $6,000. And I expect that come the end of 2021 to be significantly higher. It's just because it's all about practice. It's all about consistency. When you take the time to to learn something and really dedicate the time into it that it's going to require, it starts getting easier and easier over time. Which is the other, I think I even said this in my first review. The thing that is amazing about Don's trading style is he's not throwing something new in all the time. It's not like I've seen guys on YouTube that are like, all right, today we're going to talk about this indicator, and tomorrow we're going to talk about this indicator. You can play with them, you can combine them, and see what works best for you, and hopefully you don't lose all of your account in the process. Don teaches price action. He teaches zones. When you watch him chart things out day in and day out, it's kind of repetitive and boring. The reality is trading is kind of repetitive and boring. You get to a point where you're like, oh, okay, I made money this day. Kind of a pullback this day. All right, I made some money here. I'm at a point in my trading now because of that kind of teaching and because of that kind of just repetitive nature where I'm not making a ton at this point in my trading career. I know that I'm just going to get better and better. But like, hey, I actually have the money in my bank account now. I pulled out profits that I'm paying for next year's vacation. So if anything, learning from Don has allowed me to pay for next year's vacation. That's really cool, right? And I think it's just going to get better and better from there. It's this weird feeling where when I first started learning to trade, it was like, all right, I'm going to put money in my trading account and hope that I make money with it. Now, if I put money in an account, I actually expect to make money with it. If I have a red, October, I had a red month, which is crazy. I started taking bigger position sizes and switched to a margin account and all this other stuff back in September. So October, I was down like $400, and I was like, well, that's annoying. Like I was up like $1,000 on the year and down $400 out of that because I started trading bigger positions, bigger risk, and it's like, okay, I'm pretty sure I know what I'm doing still, and I made it all back, I think, within the first week of November. So it's just, yeah, it's seeing that consistency day in and day out and learning how to trade from Don, super encouraging. The other thing that I think has been an absolute game changer for me this year, and something that he's emphasized it, I think, the entire time I've been in the mentorship group, but it really didn't make sense to me until now, is he teaches buy the thing that's going up. And I think he even said the other night, like, people ask me, well, how do you make money? Well, I buy the thing that's going up. I had this tendency of trying to like get the perfect like dip buy on certain things and get that bottom dollar, and it just ended up tagging me out more often than not. Now my favorite thing, Crocs right now is a perfect example of this. I'm actually mad that I wasn't in it on Friday. Crocs has just been trending up. Just trending up the whole time since the crash. It's just been trending up. You could have put money in Crocs. If you whole account of Crocs at the very bottom, I think you'd be up like 400% right now or something like that. It's a stupid high amount. I don't know why that ticker is doing so well. I personally think Crocs shoes look ridiculous. I would never own a pair, but man, do I like their stock. And it's one of those ones that's always going up. So you just got to wait for it to pull back for you and be like, hey, we're going to pull back right now. We're going to have a red day or two. And I'm just letting everybody know, now's the chance. If you want to jump on board this train that has been doing really well for the last 6 months, why don't you just jump on board? And you jump on board and you make a bunch of money with it. Like, it's so stupidly simple that I think when I first started learning, it was like, no, it can't be that easy. Tesla. The vacation that I'm taking this summer is because I put money in Tesla when Tesla was just going up the whole time. And part of me feels like it's cheating. Like, and I legitimately, I had this horrible time being like, am I actually learning to trade, or am I just bag holding things that are going up? And then I realized that's really what trading is, especially when you're looking at like daily time frames and looking at this kind of price action. I'm just bag holding stuff that's going up. It feels like it's cheating. Like I can't explain it any other way. I look at a ticker and I'm like, oh, I like how that one performs. I'm going to find a good entry point, and then I'm just going to wait for my money to be there. Like I don't know how to express it in any other way. It is so mind-blowingly stupid that it works that easily. But I also recognize that trading is not easy. I still believe that trading is the most difficult thing that I've ever attempted to learn to do. I mean, let me preface this by saying I can solve a Rubik's Cube in less than 15 seconds. I'm a black belt in Hapkido. I grew up skateboarding and doing parkour and snowboarding and all this other stuff. I speak multiple languages. I've done difficult things. And trading is the hardest thing I have ever attempted to learn. By myself, this would not have happened. I guarantee it, I would have never figured this out on my own. By having a good teacher who teaches a consistent style that can be easily adapted to match your schedule and your emotional capacity, your risk tolerance, and all of that, I'm able to take what Don teaches and make that my own, make it work for me, and it's actually working for me at this point. So is it worth it to be in Don's mentorship group? Yeah, it is. Like if you want to learn to trade, if you're serious about this, right? Try it out for a month. That's it. You spend, even if Don was charging $100 a month, which it's less than that, you're going to spend $100 on something stupider than that in the future. I promise. Like, you pay $100 for something you use once or twice and then forget about it with some tool in your garage or something like that. Spend the money for 1 month in Don's mentorship group. Try it out. Be there consistently for the live streams. Consistently apply what he's doing. Ask questions in the chat. Utilize all of the opportunities that are made available through this group. And I think even in a month, you'll see that there's actual real value to be had here. And in the long run, what it does for you as a trader is just awesome. So check it out. Like seriously, if you're on the fence about it and you're just not sure, I seriously recommend checking it out. It has certainly been a game changer in my trading career. I think it'll be a game changer in my my life to come. Obviously, learning to trade successfully is a kind of a big deal. It's a life-changing event. And we've seen people in the chat that their lives have been completely changed and transformed because of learning to trade and what they're able to do with that. So if you're on the fence, please come check it out. Drop a comment if you have any questions for me. I'd be happy to help you out and happy to answer any questions that you have. And I hope to see you in the group. So thanks for watching. Bye.